Former President Donald Trump has announced today that he is formally running for president once again. This is a pretty extraordinary thing for a former president to do, and especially one who is in his position. As we all know, Trump was impeached twice during his first term in office. He really left under a cloud of controversy after he refused to accept the results of the 2020 election and in the aftermath of the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
I ran twice, I won twice, and did much better the second time than I did the first, getting millions more votes in 2020 than we got in 2016.
But Trump has, since leaving office, has continued to maintain a political presence, something that past presidents typically have not done. He spent the last 2 years really trying to maintain his status as the leader of the Republican Party and as a party kingmaker.
In order to make our country successful, safe, and glorious, I will probably have to do it again.
What's different this time around, though, is that Trump is entering this race at, arguably his most vulnerable time, or at least his most vulnerable period since January 6th. He is currently facing a series of criminal investigations. There's the ongoing investigation into his efforts to overturn the election. That's happening both in the Justice Department in Washington as well as in Georgia. And also the even more pressing case into the dozens of classified documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago. And so he's facing this backdrop of all of these criminal investigations, and we could have a situation where a leading candidate for the Republican nomination ends up being indicted, early on in his presidential campaign, which would be really an unprecedented situation for this country, in addition to also facing a serious potential competitor in Ron DeSantis. After the Tuesday elections, we've really had a situation where there's been a ton of Republican finger-pointing, with people looking to cast blame, trying to point fingers, and Trump has really received a lot of that criticism.
We're going to elect an incredible slate of America First Republicans up and down the ballot.
Trump decided to insert himself into the midterm elections like no former president had done before. And so you're seeing in this moment, something we really haven't seen, for years, which is, broad swaths of the Republican Party, saying on the record, we've had enough of Trump, it's time to move on.